Hi, I'm Quentin Schultz, the author of the book An Essential Guide to Public Speaking. An Essential Guide to Public Speaking, subtitled Serving Your Audience with Faith, Skill, and Virtue. Faith, Skill, and Virtue. And one of the skills in public speaking, especially public speaking designed to persuade, is to get to the heart, to the emotion, to get to people's hearts, to their emotions. Not in some bad way, but in a good way, because we are creatures of heart. In fact, I will suggest to you that our hearts are more important in what we believe and do than our minds. That we all have all kinds of things in our lives that we do that we even know rationally, we have evidence that are not good for us, but we do them anyway. Our hearts are in it. In a sense, we love to believe and do certain things. Our loves. I'll say more about this. Chapter 16, Persuading Emotionally. By that I mean using emotional appeals, appealing to people on the basis of emotion, what's in their hearts. The Greeks looked at this in terms of the term pathos. Pathos, emotion. The pathos in something, the emotion. I like to think of it as a Christian public speaker in terms of the heart, because I know from Scripture that our speech comes from our hearts. The heart is the root that our speech comes from. I'm not saying that we're not rational creatures, that we're not logical, we don't have minds, but if someone said to me, do you believe that people believe and act more on the basis of reason or emotion? I would say emotion. More so than reason. We are creatures of emotion. So pathos is extremely important in public speaking. To be a servant speaker means, in part, to be able to appeal to people's hearts. What's going on in their hearts? Pathos. I wish that we could all understand this well in every situation and apply it. But it has a subjective quality to it different than reason. I can lay out evidence, reasons to believe something or do something, and I can do the research on it. But what do I do when I'm addressing somebody's heart? Suppose I have a friend who says to me, would you come and speak to our group about a topic that's of vital importance to us? And I say, well, what's the topic? And they say, well, there's a lot of conflict in marriages right now. Would you come and speak about how to reduce conflict? Well, I could do that. Yes, a lot of conflict relates to communication. I'm a communication guy. I'm quote unquote an expert. I can come address that. But I know that if I go there and I offer reasons for people in marriages not to communicate in ways that cause conflict, I'm not going to be so successful. I have to appeal to their heart, which is another way of saying, listen to this, it's really, really important, which is another way of saying I want to appeal to their loves. To their loves, what they love. And a good term for this is their affection. A-F-F-E-C-T-I-O-N-S. Their affections, their loves. We all have things that we love. Our lives are filled with different kinds of loves. I love doing this. I love doing that. I really like something over here. This is a hobby that I love. Or I love going for walks on a sunny day. I love, this is me now talking to you, I love spending time with my 5.5-year-old grandson. I love it. I love it. We have so much fun together. With my own children, I had some of the childhood that I didn't experience in my own childhood because of my alcoholic father and my schizophrenic mother and all the conflict. I never really had a childhood. So we had children, and I got to experience some of childhood there. And then with grandchildren, I get to experience childhood even more deeply and better. It's phenomenal. I love spending time with my grandson. It's a matter of the heart. I can't give you all the reasons for it rationally, but I'm oriented toward that. So all of us have affections. You can take any topic that you're giving a speech on where you are trying to persuade people, and the audience will be bringing to that topic some attitudes, some feelings, some affections, And if we can address those affections, we have a chance of some persuasion. So going to speak to a group about improving marital communication, I could use a lot of different approaches. I could be more rational, I could be less rational and more emotional, and I would take more of an emotional approach on this one. Because I would feel that down deep, parents love each other, they love their children, they want less conflict. They want peace. They want harmony. They want each day to be more like some of the best days of their lives. The best day of their marriage, the best day of their times with their children. They want less conflict, but in the positive sense, they want more love. And I would want to address that love. Now that's kind of an easy, simple example for you to understand how affections work. But let me again say that we all have affections about all kinds of things. We have heartfelt feelings toward things. And any topic we speak on, we want to know the audience well enough to know what their affections are and to see if we can address those. And sometimes the affections have to do with them wanting to avoid something negative, such as conflict. They hate conflict. They hate it. So notice what I'm saying there, the opposite of love, hate. They hate it. They want to stay away from it. So I might appeal to their hate of conflict some. But then in a positive appeal, a positive emotional appeal, I would want to appeal to their sense of a desire for love, for harmony, for peace, for what we might call, in the ancient Hebrew language, shalom, peace, real deep peace, the way things really should be. And we feel down in our heart, that's the way things should be. I want that. I want that. In my experience, this is the most effective kind of persuasive emotional appeal. It gets to people's loves or affections and appeals perhaps to some of the things they hate to stay away from, but especially appeals to the positive things that they desire. We can add some logic to it and some reasons, but generally speaking, we get into trouble in a speech when we try going too many different directions. And if we're going to use emotional appeal primarily, and we don't want to use that much in terms of logical appeal, we have to make a judgment. Is reason going to be more important for this audience, or is emotion, heart? Is it logos or pathos that we want to focus in on for the most part? I think this is the way God made us, by the way. We're creatures of love. We can love all kinds of things. We can love good things, bad things. St. Augustine said, our problem as human beings is that we get to love in the wrong order. We love things more than other things, and not necessarily in the right order. We should love God and our neighbor as ourselves, get that order going right. And when we are disordered in our loves, we get into trouble in our lives. And so you find people that have some loves that are way out of kilter. They have a hobby, let's say, that's like a religion, and we might want to give a speech to people who are quote-unquote addicted to that hobby to say, look at the bigger picture of life. There's more to life as love than just that hobby. Or workaholism is another good example of love gone berserk, out of kilter. So when we go to persuade, one way is to use emotional appeals, pathos. And I think from a Christian perspective, we can look at that in terms of appealing to people's desires, where their loves are. The things they love that they should love and would want to love more if we can appeal to them. Take it to heart, my friends. This can make a difference in people's lives. Thank you.